In early 2020, the world changed forever. A new virus, Covid-19, swept across the globe, bringing economies to a halt, overwhelming hospitals, and reshaping daily life for billions. It all began in December 2019, when health officials in Wuhan, China, identified a cluster of pneumonia cases with no clear cause. The culprit? A novel coronavirus, later named SARS-CoV-2. By January 2020, the virus had spread beyond China's borders. Cases appeared in Thailand, South Korea, Japan, and the United States. The World Health Organization declared a public health emergency on January 30, 2020. As cases surged, countries began closing borders and grounding flights. But the virus was already moving faster than containment efforts. By March 11, 2020, COVID-19 was officially declared a pandemic. Lockdowns became the new normal. In cities from Milan to New York, life came to a standstill. Essential workers, doctors, nurses, delivery drivers, became frontline heroes. Hospitals ran out of space, personal protective equipment was scarce, and misinformation spread as quickly as the virus itself. Meanwhile, scientists raced to understand the virus, how it spread, who was most vulnerable, and how to stop it. Terms like social distancing and flatten the curve became part of daily conversation. Work, school, and social life moved online. Birthdays were celebrated over video calls, concerts were streamed, and millions adapted to remote work. The economic fallout was devastating. Businesses shuttered, millions lost jobs, and global supply chains buckled under the pressure. But amidst the crisis, there was hope. Scientists around the world collaborated like never before, accelerating vaccine development at unprecedented speed. In December 2020, the first COVID-19 vaccines received emergency approval, a breakthrough that would change the course of the pandemic. The year ended with over 80 million reported cases and nearly 2 million deaths worldwide. The scars of 2020 would shape policies, healthcare, and personal lives for years to come. COVID-19 was more than a health crisis. It was a global reckoning. A reminder of our shared vulnerability, but also our capacity for resilience and innovation. The story of COVID-19 didn't end in 2020, but it was the year the world woke up to a new reality, one we're still navigating today. Here's one fascinating thing not many people know. The earliest known COVID-19 case might date back to November 2019, and possibly even earlier. While the official narrative points to December 2019 in Wuhan, some scientific studies and intelligence reports suggest the virus may have been circulating quietly weeks or even months before China publicly acknowledged it. For example, wastewater samples collected in northern Italy in December 2019 showed traces of SARS-CoV-2, long before Italy's first confirmed case. Some U.S. researchers even found evidence in archived blood samples from December 2019. This raises the possibility that the virus was silently spreading globally before anyone realized it was a pandemic-level threat. On top of that, early cases in China were reportedly reclassified after the fact, meaning some of the first cases we were told about might not have actually been the first. It's a reminder of how much uncertainty there was in the early days, and how much of the COVID story we're still piecing together. Here's a batch of obscure, weird, and kinda wild facts about the COVID-19 crisis that most people never heard about. 1. Pandas got their privacy back. When zoos shut down due to COVID, a pair of pandas at Ocean Park in Hong Kong finally mated naturally after 10 years of refusing to while the zoo was open. Apparently, they just needed humans to leave them alone. 2. Venice's canals turned crystal clear. With no boats and no tourists churning up the water, the canals in Venice became shockingly clear. For the first time in decades, locals could see fish swimming through the water. It was like nature hit the reset button, briefly. 3. Doom scrolling was invented. The term doom scrolling, the habit of endlessly scrolling through bad news on your phone, became a dictionary entry thanks to 2020. Psychologists actually started studying how addictive it was, because people just couldn't stop. 4. Toilet paper became a global currency, almost. In Australia, Japan, and even parts of the US, toilet paper became so scarce that people literally traded it for other goods. In some places, black market toilet paper sales were a thing. Who knew TP would be the ultimate survival item? 5. Seismologists heard the Earth quiet down. With industries shut down, travel halted, and human activity at a standstill, scientists who study seismic activity noticed the Earth itself was quieter. This global seismic hush made it easier to detect small earthquakes and underground movements. 6. The mystery of COVID toes. Doctors started seeing patients, especially younger ones, with bizarre purple or red toes that looked like frostbite, even if they had mild or no other symptoms. COVID toes became a strange and poorly understood side effect. 7. Llamas played a role in vaccine research. Scientists studied llama antibodies because they are uniquely good at blocking coronaviruses. These nanobodies could latch onto the virus spike protein better than human antibodies. Llamas quietly became tiny pandemic heroes. 8. The banana bread and sourdough explosion. Data from Google Trends shows searches for how to make sourdough skyrocketed during lockdowns. Banana bread also had a global moment. It was like the whole planet collectively baked its feelings. 9. A literal coughing cop scandal. In Hawaii, a police officer was caught on camera coughing into an elevator on purpose, which sparked such an outrage that new rules were passed about reckless coughing. The fact that this needed a law is wild. 10. Fake dolphin sightings in Venice. Remember those viral photos of dolphins swimming through the empty canals of Venice? Totally fake. The dolphins were actually filmed near Sardinia, hundreds of miles away. But people wanted a happy nature story so badly that they just believed it. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to support the channel.